Look what I found, milk glass. I'm here at Peddler's Mall in Louisville, Kentucky. My mom had a lot of milk glass around. It looked good, which was the idea, and it wasn't ceramic, so it was more inexpensive. There you go. I want to show you how to tell the more expensive from the less expensive. There's a lot here. A Brody and EO Brody bowl like this one, an insert bowl. One of the telltale signs for lower quality or more inexpensive milk glass is if you can see through it. So seeing through it is one of the things. This one you can see through. You can see my finger moving in the back of it. So that's one of the things you probably want to stay away from if you're looking for the best quality milk glass. But I think with the prices, they're not charging that much for it. Well, this is 8, so that's a lot for that piece. That's, in this environment, I think that's too much for that piece. They're saying, oh, well, it has a pretty serpentine edge and it's 2 handles, but the see-through quality of it makes it not all that high quality. So this, I would say, no. I also want to show you the difference, because what I would say yes to is this. Look at how different that is. This one you can see through. This is almost like ceramic. Now we know it's glass, but it's almost like ceramic with how dark it is, how white it is. You can see it here as well. So it's really not see-through at all. So if you're looking at a shelf like this shelf, this is a nice piece. Now this is an old piece. This is an old piece, basically a toilet water jar. That's probably from the 1940s. That's a nice piece. They reproduced them in the 1960s, so those of you who are saying, oh no, it's from the 1960s, actually this is one of the earlier versions. Then you have this, and notice also this one's early too, and also of higher quality, can't see through it, really dense, opaque, not translucent. Look at this, this is a sugar bowl. It's got 2 handles. It's got this nice decorative element, and literally the center, they have the base on the angle, as opposed to the base being the square. The base is a nice diamond shaped. So those are both pretty nice. I like both of these pieces. Now, what do they want for them? They are old. I only want 6 for that, so that's good, because that's 6. You can make double on that. That's worth 12. And this one, I don't know where. It got the correct stopper. I don't see a label, so I don't know how much that one is. But that one is really a nice piece for quality versus this one that you can see through, which is not high quality. The other things that people look for with milk glass, they look for, of course, the marks, many of the marks like the Northwood mark. And then right here, you've got 6 here and 6 more up here. So you do have to look around. You do have to look around. So up here, you've got 6 of these. Again, stemware and base-footed goblets. They have this nice crisscross pattern. They've got a thumbprint going through. That's a nice pattern, very, very typical of the 1960s. But 12 sitting here. Now, if this were me and this was, my place to display stuff, I would have put all 12 right together. I wouldn't have had you go looking, oh, there's 6, oh, there's 6 more. So, and then very desirable with, of course, the better milk glass is these pieces that are hobnail. So hobnail with the stopper. Hobnail is this pattern here, consistent pattern. That's a nice little condiment server. That's nice with the little stopper, and I like the hobnail. The hobnail is very close together too. See how they're close together? You want those. You want those. You don't want the big hobnails like these hobnails are not close together. So I would pass this one by because the hobnails aren't close enough together. This takes more, of course, time and effort and expertise. This, and it's also see-through. Even though it's a bigger piece, I still would say I'd go for the smaller one that is more dense looking for the glass itself. I love the candlestick, I love the candlestick, I love the candlestick. Here's the problem. It's supposed to be a pair. Where is it? So this is when I get aggravated because as an impatient person, as you know me to be, I'm looking for that candlestick and it's not here, and I want to find it. For a pair for $22, the person who's running this particular booth knows that those are nice. Those are worth $30 for the pair, if you can find the pair. So milk glass, really nice. A couple of deals. I always say pick up these vases, always pick them up because there's always somebody who's looking for them. They're very desirable, and people like to mix and match. They don't care that they're not all matchy-matchy. They like to mix and match them. Actually, I was talking to a shopper here, and they were saying that she had some candlesticks, and she was looking for candlesticks, and she wanted to mix and match. She didn't want it to be matchy-matchy. So there you go. I don't know, she was probably 28, 30 years old, so she was looking for a mismatch, and that looks good like that. So I could see that. So remember, you don't want to pick up the see-through, right? If you can see through it, you want to keep it here. You want to see the pieces of milk glass that is, in fact, much more dense. The idea was to make it look like ceramic. So if they can make the white glass look like ceramic, that was their goal. And of course, you know, everybody likes a milk glass ice cream sundae dish. Too bad there weren't 12 of these. So a cup like this is always fun too. And there's no label, there's no price, so it must be free. While it looks pretty, it's all new Fiesta, okay? So none of it is old. It has particular marks that indicate that it's newer. See if I can get you a good mark. So here's one. And then some of them say lead-free. So these are the newer marks. They're all pretty, they're nice. People do collect them, all the different colors, but it's not the early Fiesta that we're all looking for. So, but, you know, fun to collect and a pretty display and very American, so it's Fiesta. And, you know, it's bright and chipper and happy, just like the name. Well, see, we found a real one. So this one is Fiestaware. So it's concentric circles in the finger hole, right, in the handle. And then all the small lines, they get farther apart, closer together as you go down the cup. That's Fiesta. Now, let's see if we got a mark. Well, we got some chips. And no visible mark anymore. Yeah, see, because it's old. Damaged. But that's what it should look like. That's what all those other ones should have looked like. Okay. All right. All made with nails. Oxyacetylene torch. So this is Stagel, right? Yep, Stagel. Okay. $4.50. For those of you who like mid-century modern, the manner of Curtis Jerry and other artists who are working with constructed metal, this is a nice piece, a really nice piece. $4.50 is a really good price too. I tell you about artwork all the time. A lot of people overlook wall sculpture, three-dimensional sculpture, but this is very popular from the 50s, late 50s until the 70s. It's got some enamel panels too. But this is a nice work, characteristic of the artist's work. It would be held up, put up onto a wall. They want $4.50 for the sculpture. It's called Brutalism, and it's introduced after World War II, and it's constructed metal. So for $4.50, this piece is worth about $1,200. So that's really a bargain. That's a steal. So don't forget about the art. Oh, well, these are nice. Okay, so these are not ivory, obviously, and they're not Bakelite either. I know all of you are going to go, is it Bakelite? Is it Bakelite? It's not Bakelite. They're plastic. They're poker chips. But they're a good, strong, and big set. So the 60s, the 1960s, what do they want for them? Vintage poker chips in the case, $25. Wow, that's great. Because the red chips, all these red chips here are about $20. All the white ones here are $20. The second set of white ones are $20, and the blue ones are $20. So that's 20, 40, 60, 80, plus the case, $100 for all of it. For 25, you're gonna make 75 bucks. So I like that whole thing. That's great because people like vintage poker chips. They like the look of them when they're playing games. So, oh hey, here's one from the oldies from home, right? How about the magazine rack? There's the magazine rack from my mother's house. Exact same one she had. Let's see. And it had the little eagle on it. $29, right? Yep. So basket, and it's got the original feet. I think one of my sisters probably has it because, you know, I'm the baby, didn't get everything. But that's the magazine rack. And my mom had a rule, a week's worth of newspaper could go in it, and then it had to be cleaned out. She was very clean, very clean. Decanters, here's some decanters as we move by. This is a nice booth. Here are the decanters. Inexpensive though. So pressed glass is your key. It's pressed glass. The staining from the liquor is also part of the problem that lowers the value. 22, 21, for this one, 17. I'd probably say 12, 12, and 15 for those. Pressed glass, dime a dozen, a lot of them out there. But you know, if you're looking to do it on the cheap and make your bar look cute, it's cute. Here we go. How about some tumblers? Here you've got the grapes pattern, some tumblers here. No mark. Typically this pattern is usually a West Virginia or a Pittsburgh type of pattern. Northwood would make them. Sometimes Jeanette Glass would make them, this kind of thing. But this is a nice azure blue with the purple, with the characteristic grapes. These are tall tumblers. I got to see how much they want. Carnival Glass, also known as iridescent glass. Oh, this one has here's the label. Gotta be careful. Looks like there's 7. 2, 4, 6, 7. 7. 7 isn't 8, guys. 7 isn't 8. So $32 is what this person wants for 7. So $32 for 7. I would say, what are they worth? They're worth about $40 for 7. So you're making a little bit of money on this. Not a great bargain, but I would say that this particular piece is nice, and they're in very good shape. Not tremendously old either. They're more like the 50s than they are the 1930s. And how do you tell that? These big bands, these big wide bands, usually is the later. Also a curve. See this serpentine little curve here? That's usually not the 30s. That's usually the 1950s or later. But so those are nice. Those are nice. And everybody likes a bar cart. And there's more coming up from Peddler's Mall, Louisville, Kentucky.